all the
Well, I started as a plant manager for an ice cream company in Greenfield, Mass. Called Bart's and Snow's. The man who was in charge of the ice cream production was a guy by the name of Kevin Kearns. Nicest guy in the world and absolutely fanatical about his ice cream, which I found to be totally refreshing. Here was somebody who was not going to settle for second best, was not going to say good enough for government work, and showed out the door. He made everything had to be top notch. Everything had to be perfect. And that posed a real challenge for me because first I had to learn what the heck I was doing. And then second, I had to learn how to push the ancient machinery in that place to make it achieve what we were trying to do. And that was very interesting, but it was also a case of trying to improvise because you didn't know what else to do. For example, we had 3 compressors down in the basement that ran the ammonia system, which is what we used to make the ice cream. And these things were the most simple machines in the world, but even the simple machines would break down. And when they did, I had no idea how to fix it. I didn't know the make of the machine, I didn't know the model number, I had no parts list, I had no data on it whatsoever. So I would contact this old fella named Bill, whose last name I do not even remember, he's since passed away, who was the maintenance man of the place for 70-odd years, and he would laugh at me and say, go out of the supermarket, get a pair of size 9 nylons, wrap it around the wheel, tie it off with the square knot, and you're good to go. So when the belts failed, I'd run down and grab a pair of nylons and wrap it around the thing, tie it off, fire it up, and ran like a top. It was basically look around, see what you can come up with interim, and make it fly.
So it really was improvising every day.
Every day was something new because you never knew how it was going to turn out until you got familiar with the machinery and familiar with the flavors. Different flavors reacted differently with the machinery. For instance, maple flavors would always be done at the end of the day because if you did a maple flavor first, anything you ran through the machine the rest of the day is going to taste like maple. So you save the maple for the very end of the day, and you do vanilla flavors first before you do chocolate flavors for the same reason. Everything was anthropomorphized, by the way. The 2 ice cream machines were Tommy and Rudy. The fruit feeder was Guido. The big fruit feeder that we finally prevailed upon the owners to buy we called Bubba, because you could feed anything into Bubba and it would chump it into the ice cream. And then we had a Rippler machine, and I bet you can't guess what his name was.
No.
Jack.
Jack the Rippler.
Jack the Rippler, of course. Most of the suppliers that we had that gave us brownie pieces, they were totally inadequate. Once you get them into the ice cream mix, they would just disintegrate until it looked like pepper going through the ice cream. Not really what we had in mind, but finally we found this dealer. He came in with these perfect little half-inch cubes of chewy, dark brownies, just the most wonderful brownies. We were eating them by the handful out of the sample bag. Well, these are great. And we tried them in the machine, put them in a test batch of some vanilla flavored ice cream, and it was marvelous. It was perfect. But it was just the kind of thing where Kevin would have salesmen from all these different suppliers coming in every couple of days, hey, try these, try this. And he was a real snob when it came to ingredients. I used to just stand back and laugh because these guys would be sweating trying to make a sale, and Kevin would be like, nope, sorry, not good enough, nope, nope, nope. But when he hit those brownies, so we made up a flavor of ice cream that had those brownies in it, black cherries, chocolate ripple, and we called it Piece of My Haw. It was a real nice flavor. We're always trying to figure out how can we do this better, what can we do to make it smoother, tastier, creamier, better. But we were very proud of that product, very proud of it.